What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So I think this might be my second video ever about Hogwarts Legacy. I've been following the game in the shadows, but basically focusing my channel more on Gotham Knights, and I think it makes a lot of sense because right now we got a gameplay reveal just recently. We also have a release date for Gotham Knights, but Hogwarts Legacy, it seems right now there is no release date. Nonetheless, the developers are still very much engaged in the community, and after the state of play, it really did make fans very excited as to what was to be coming with this particular game. Now, one really critical thing that we have to basically pay very close attention to is the huge lack of an announced release date, and right now the calendar approaching June. But in June, there's going to be a Summerfest, and I think, in my opinion, that Warner Brothers is going to be coming to this Summerfest showcasing a few of their games and possibly getting to reach out to the community. But here's a critical thing that I'm certain many of us may have kind of in a sense thrown aside or missed. This was a tweet that was published by the former CEO of Warner Media, Jason Kilar. Now, Jason Kilar is no longer with Warner Media, but I remember right as the merger was taking place, and a lot of people already kind of knew that with the shakeup, he was probably going to be moving on to something else. He went ahead and made a tweet that was a snapshot of what was to come with Warner Media. In that tweet, he mentioned something about CNN Plus and something else I can't necessarily remember, but he was very quick to mention that Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy were still on track to release in 2022. So I guess the question now is, what date or what calendar day in 2022 is this going to happen? You see, we've been in a situation like this before, not so far back. And so I feel more confident that this is probably going to be a thing where Hogwarts Legacy has a deadline to basically get the fans excited and eventually get the game out. So this scenario that we were in about 2 years ago was a scenario that, Sony faced in some aspect. Now, it was different in terms of a lot of the context, and this was with The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. The Last of Us Part 2 had a very unfortunate incident where a lot of details about the game leaked out, and somehow they dragged its release date to a different date and shifted Ghost of Tsushima a little back on the calendar. In fact, the release dates were actually about a month apart, and the announcements were actually quite close. This is what gives me a little bit more confidence saying that even though we know Gotham Knights is coming out in October, and we're not necessarily certain when Hogwarts Legacy will come out, my guess is Hogwarts Legacy might be a holiday game, looking at potentially November as a release date. And November is not out of the question. November is actually a strong month for video games to release because there are many holidays that actually show up, which allows for sales and exposure and just almost free marketing from, brick and mortar stores like GameStop and Walmart. And so it's a natural thing in my opinion. In fact, I feel like Hogwarts Legacy has more of the prime spot in terms of the holiday times, and I believe that this is something that's really going to resonate in favor of the game. So right now, fans are basically on their seats. A lot of people are kind of edgy. Nobody really wants this game to be delayed because it will probably be sitting on top of Suicide Squad in 2023 if that were to happen. But I think with the Warner Media CEO having made that tweet, and we're already getting the Gotham Knights release date and getting some more events regarding Gotham Knights, we can safely say that Avalanche is probably on point to get their game ready and out. All we need to do right now is kind of keep our fingers crossed and look out for what the Summer Games Fest is going to bring. And I'm quite certain that if at any rate we're not going to be getting even a release date, we'll probably hear a little bit from the developers, be it in some form of a big presentation, maybe even a small tweet or some update on their Discord servers down the road. So far, so good. These are my thoughts regarding Hogwarts Legacy and its release date and some of the concerns that are rearing their head here in the community. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully we'll talk very soon. I appreciate you guys for even watching it. Peace out.